Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a pickups video, as you can see from the title, wherever it is, down there, up there, can't remember. Yeah, not that many games. What have I got? 5 games and a console. So, you know, not much has come up this month, but I thought I really want that. Because I am only buying games that I really want. So I have got another one in the post, but I've been waiting for it for a few days now and it's just not turning up. I think it's going to be one of them ones where I end up having to chase it and all the rest of it. So I'll put it in next month's now. But yeah, one of them I've really struggled to get hold of a nice copy of. I've ended up buying 3 copies basically and piecing them together to get a good copy. So we'll talk more about that as we get to it. But yeah, console. Got a console. I wasn't overly mad about getting one of these right now. I did want one, but I was just putting a few in my basket, watching them, not in my basket, in my watch list, watching them, and see what sort of price they were going for. Because I thought, bloody hell, they're going expensive when I've been watching what the buy it now prices are. And I put a buy it now one in my basket to see if it sold for the price it was going for, you know. Because when you look at the sold prices, they were quite random about like the age of them when they'd sold. So some of them like a month ago, some of them were 3 months ago. So anyway, I put a few in my watch list. And this one were really cheap anyway, I thought. And then the seller offered me a discount like they do when you're watching them. And I couldn't resist, basically. Generally, I'm not that bothered. They'll send you like a 5% discount or something like that, and it's like £3 off. But this guy sent me 25 quid off, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good price, is that? So yeah, I bought the bullet and I bought it. So we've got GameCube. Console itself, not that bothered about. Bought it for this little bad boy underneath. Game Boy Advance player. So yeah, GameCube, I will get some games for it. There's 20-25 games I really like on the GameCube, so I'd have been buying one anyway. And I'd have been buying one just for that, even if there weren't any games that I liked on the GameCube. Because I love the Game Boy Advance player. I think it's probably one of the better Nintendo things. One of the things I think is well worth owning. Not for playing Game Boy games on though, because I tell you what, the lag on these is unbelievable on Game Boy games. I couldn't believe just how bad it was actually when I tested it out the other day. But yeah, basically, this put on a buy it now for 125, I think it was. Which was Game Boy Advance, player, cube, all important disc, couple of memory cards, and 2 pads as well. Which I thought was quite a good price when I've been looking at the price of other, well, Game Boy Advance players really. GameCubes don't seem to go that much, 50-60 quid. GBA players, they're selling for around 100-120 quid. And I was like, bloody hell, I thought that was just like people chancing a luck, but when I was looking on sold listings, they're actually selling for up to like 170 quid boxed. I thought that's fucking ridiculous for that, for the Game Boy player. The disc itself, people are trying to flog them for like 60-70 quid, and some of them are selling for 40-50 quid. I thought that's ridiculous. So anyway, I saw this, I think it was £125, buy it now. It's not in the best condition, a couple of buttons are a bit dinged, they work. A few little scratches on it, no major. A bit of yellowing on that bit. Again, I don't really care about condition of consoles as long as they work. So yeah, he offered me £25 off. I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm buying that. So while I was just watching them to see what the prices were and gauge a price for the future purchase, I couldn't resist at that price, 100 quid. But yeah, I plugged a Game Boy game in to test it, because I don't have any Game Boy Advance games at the minute, and I don't have any GameCube games at the minute. So I plugged a Game Boy game in. Oh my god, I'd forgotten how bad the lag is. When you play a Game Boy Advance game, there is a slight bit of lag, but it's minimal. Not really noticeable. Game Boy Color, again, so-so. You can play them. Game Boy games, Jesus wept. I was playing Robocop on it. I pressed jump, and then like a couple of seconds later, it jumps. I'll show you one of these days, I'll put a comparison up. But it's like absolutely unplayable when it's a game like that. Yeah, so yeah, don't buy one if you want to play Game Boy games. Don't buy it for Game Boy Advance games though. There's quite a few Game Boy Advance games that I want to get back into my collection, but I'm holding off. I'm holding off because I know once I start with that one, it's going to be a real money pit. I've been down that route a couple of times before with Game Boy Advance. Every game I play on it, I just think it's amazing. So it is one of them that's going to be a bit of a money pit. And plus, the boxes on that console, they're a nightmare to get in good condition. So it's, yeah, it's going to be expensive. I had a quick look at like, a Game Boy Advance list, a game list. And I was only around halfway through and I was already into 3 figures of games that I wouldn't mind owning. So I thought, fuck me, this is going to turn into a massive collection, is this Game Boy Advance one. But it is what it is. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to go out and buy like 50 games all in. You know, a couple of games here and there, games I enjoy, games I think are amazing, and I'll just keep adding them to my collection. I play them, I beat them, and I move on. So I've actually already beaten 2 of these games here. So, you know, as I'm adding games to my collection, I'm playing them, I'm enjoying them. It's great. And if I really like them, they stay. Stuff I've never played before, if I'm not too keen on it, it's probably going to go again. But all of these ones I've played before, love them. No, actually I'm lying. I haven't played the last one. Anyway, yeah, GameCube plays alright. I had lots of trouble with it when I was younger. Getting hold of it itself was a pain in the ass. When I bought it originally, I had massive balls up with it. I pre-ordered it with Double Dash. When I got down to the store, they'd sold out of the Double Dash ones, so I was kicking off because I was like, well, I've pre-ordered it, I've paid up front, I paid like, I think I paid 70 quid up front and I will pay best off afterwards for my pre-order. And I only bought it for Double Dash, that's all I wanted it for. And then it gets down there and I'm like, oh, well we've got this one, but it hasn't got Double Dash, can you take that instead? I'm like, no, I want the fucking Double Dash one. And I ended up coming home that night with a GameCube and I got Luigi's Mansion, I think I got Mario Sunshine, I can't remember, I've got another game with it as well. And I had to go back down and get Double Dash a couple of days later and I got the gold sleeved edition, you know, the limited edition one, got that. So I ended up with getting an extra couple of games out of it, but I didn't get the Double Dash console. But it was an absolute nightmare. I was fucking nearly fighting with manager in shop. It was like Woolworths, Big W it was called. It just changed to Big W, I think. It was Woolworths and it went to Big W, didn't it? It was that shop there. And yeah, I was arguing like fuck with this manager guy. And he was going, well, we don't have to honour these pre-orders. And I'm like, you do, you've got my fucking money, you wanker. That's right arguments with him. Anyway, all worked out good in the end. I got the console, I got the games I wanted a couple of days late, but I got what I wanted. Yeah, and I did enjoy it back in the day. I liked the GameCube, but the PS2 just always like had me. So it was always second fiddle to my PS2. I did tend to buy games on the GameCube when they were coming out on both consoles. So games I really wanted to play, like the James Bond games, most of them I played first on the GameCube. But I ended up trading them in for the most part, and I ended up getting the PS2 versions. Because my heart was just with the PS2, basically. But I do have lots of fond memories of the GameCube. Again, some of the games on there I think are brilliant. Luigi's Mansion I think is an absolute brilliant game. Super Mario Sunshine, I really enjoyed that. I know a lot of people weren't keen on it, but I thought it was brilliant, that game. So yeah, I'm going to buy them. Zelda games. Metroid, I really enjoyed the Metroid games as well, so I'll be getting them. And a few others. There's a good few games I want on it. So yeah, definitely one I was going to pick up eventually. But I bought it at the minute for the Game Boy Advance player, not for the actual GameCube. So yeah, expect to see some Game Boy Advance games next month. Anyway, right, all works, it's all cock on, spot on console. Let's get on to game pickups then. We'll start with the one I had some trouble with. So, getting hold of this game has been a bit of a nightmare for me. We've got Zero Tolerance on the Mega Drive. These boxes are an absolute arse to get in good condition. The Accolade boxes. So, I've ended up buying 3 versions of this. This version had an absolute spanking box. This box is really good condition, and it had the logo on it, which we need. We'll talk about that in a minute. The only one I could find where the hang tab was complete, not cracked, and the case wasn't cracked, and they go like really weirdly crispy to these, the shit boxes. It was the only one I could find that were in really good condition, but the insert on this side were all sun faded. So where it's yellow, that had gone white. I've still got the other version somewhere, I think. Yeah, I haven't sold the others bits yet. I'm not going to bother showing them, they're over there somewhere. But yeah, the manual were good on this as well. So the box of manual, this copy. The other copy I bought for the insert, it was the only one that had a really good insert. And then I ended up buying a cart-only version, because all the cartridges that I'd got were like peeling on that corner there. So this is the best version I could piece together. Really, really fond memories of this game. It was one of my first experiences of first-person shooters, and I had a copy and my friend also had a copy, and that's where this sticker up at the top comes in. I don't know if you'll be able to read it, if it's clear or whatever. So with this you could get a free cable, and it meant you could play the game 2-player by linking up 2 consoles. So my mate's dad sent off for the cable, and one night we all got together, me and my mate, 2 TVs, 2 Mega Drives, got the link cable, and we were playing 2-player like that. And I've got really, really fond memories of doing it. It was proper cool as fuck. First time we've done all like that, on Mega Drive or like that. Because we played multiplayer all the time, obviously, because we were mates. But actually like 2 TVs, and we were opposite each other as well. It was just a cool experience, basically. Really fond memories of it. It's a really good game, but it's tricky as fuck. Towards the end you just think, my god, it's going on forever and I've only got 1 guy left. So for lives on this, instead of getting like, you've got 4 lives, you get, I can't remember how many soldiers you get now, but you get an amount of soldiers. Each one's got certain little things they can do. So like one of them will be a weapons specialist, one of them's got like radar so you can see where enemies are, stuff like that. But yeah, each time one dies, that's it, they're done. And that's a life gone, basically. So eventually you get that 1 person in your squad, and it starts getting really, really fucking tricky. Great game though, really worth checking out. I've given it a quick blast. I got through about 4 levels, and then I just stopped, because I wanted to play something else. But yeah, gonna settle down and have a really good playthrough of this. Really enjoyed it, what I played of it. So yeah, great game. One from my childhood with great memories. What we'll go at next? We will go with... We'll go with this. So this is... I was going to say the end of a collection for me. So I love Devil May Cry games. We've got Devil May Cry 3 on PS2. I was going to say this is the end of the collection for the Devil May Cry games. I've been looking out for this one, but there's a couple more that I think I might add to it. So we'll see about them. But for now, happy with my Devil May Cry collection. Been looking out for this one for a while. It's a slipcover version on the PS2. And this slipcover is a real pain to get hold of in good condition. And not only that, people want stupid money for it. They want like 70, 80 quid for this. And it's like, it's not worth it. It's not that rare. But every time one comes up, they're selling it for like 70 or 80 quid. I got this for 15 quid. That's about what it's worth, in my opinion. It's not the good version of the game, so this is just Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening, original version. There's a special edition on the PS2, which is much better. So, yeah. Why it commands so much, I don't know. It's not particularly rare. I don't know. But anyway, it was something I wanted to add to my Devil May Cry collection. I'll probably do a Devil May Cry collection video at some point. I'll do it this week sometime. But I've got all the Devil May Cry games in one form or another. I've got multiple copies of some of them, so like I say, I've got this special edition of this, I've got a HD release of this. Yeah, there is a couple more games I wouldn't mind adding to my Devil May Cry collection, but for the most part, I think I'm done now. There's like a special edition of Devil May Cry 4 that only came out in Japan on PS4, and that's the only way you can get trophies on Devil May Cry 4, so I might buy that just so I can get trophies on it. because the PS3 version were pre-trophies and they never did a patch for it. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm pretty chuffed with my Devil May Cry collection. Great series for me, one of my all-time favourites. I love running guns, I love hack and slashes, and it's just a mad combination of it. Running around and being able to jump and change between guns and swords and just pulling off mental combos. You can trigger this thing called Devil Time if you've never played it, which just makes you fucking super awesome and your combos are much more effective, and it's just a cool fucking game. I remember the first time I played Devil May Cry on PS2 and I was just hooked. Absolutely loved it. I spent weeks and weeks and weeks playing it, searching through, finding all the special missions, because there's loads of hidden stuff as well. Like you'll play through and then you'll go back into a room where you don't need to go back in and it'll trigger like a special mission, stuff like that. Loads of hidden stuff to find. It's just a cool game. Yeah, I've always enjoyed the series. There's only one of them that's a bit of a turd in my opinion. And even then it's not bad, it's just not quite as good as the others. So yeah, great game. Not played this version of this since I bought it. I have played Devil May Cry 3 recently though on one of the HD collections. So at the minute, I don't want to play it again, but it'll get played, definitely. I say I absolutely love the games. Devil May Cry 3 is probably, yeah, I'd say it's probably the best one as well. It is a really good game. So yeah, that's it for modern stuff actually. People are calling PS2 retro, by the way. I've been watching videos and people are calling PS2 retro, and I just can't get behind that. No, PS2's firmly in the modern category for me. Anything before PS2, that's what I class as retro, but yeah. PS2, modern. No, that's an argument for another day, isn't it? So, next up, Game Boy, and we've got an Addams Family game. So we've got Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt. I can never tell if we've got glare on this or not. I ain't got a viewfinder on my camera. I'm going to have to get a better camera than that. That camera's really good, but it's not designed for this sort of shit. It's designed as a camera. So yeah, we've got Addams Family, Pugsley's, I can't say it, Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt. Really good game, tricky as hell. I do like pretty much all the Addams Family games, barring Addams Family Values. Not a great fan of that one. All the others, 2D platformers, great fun. Fester's Quest as well, that's not a 2D platformer, that's it's hard to describe. It's like walking around, trying to figure shit out stuff. It's not the greatest of games, it's fun, but not like one of the platformers. But the Addams Family mainstay, I do like all the games on. Pretty much, I think I've played all of them, apart from this game on the SNES actually. I don't think I've played Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt on SNES. I've played all the other games and I've really enjoyed all of them. I will be adding quite a few of them in my collection. This one, really good memories of this one. It's tricky though, this is a tricky ass game. So it's one of those games where you've got to use your enemies as platforms quite often. So to successfully get through areas, you've got to like bounce between enemies to get up to certain ledges, to get secrets and stuff like that. Really, really tricky game, but brilliant. Once you get into the flow of it and you get the hang of the jumps, it's a really, really great game. You feel like you've mastered it. It's one of those games. So some games you just feel like you're fluking it, but this one, you won't fluke it. You have to fucking learn it. And once you have done, you'll be over the moon with how good you are at it. And it just feels great. It really does flow. Got this for quite a good price as well, this. Under 40 quid. And it's in absolutely amazing condition. So yeah, quite happy with that. I will say though, I've been looking at quite a few Game Boy games. It's probably up there as the console I'm all out collecting for at the minute. I'm picking games up for a few here and there, but I'm mainly searching for Game Boy games. There's a couple I really, really want that are hard to find and they're expensive. And my god, the amount of reproduction boxes on the Game Boy. I know SNES has got quite a bit of a thing going on with that, and so has N64, but fuck me, Game Boy is absolutely flooded. Every other auction you look at when it's box complete, it's a reproduction. And thankfully, they are telling you it's a reproduction, and they are quite easy to tell as well, I think anyway. As someone who's collected games for a long time, I think it's quite easy to tell if it's a reproduction or not. But yeah, I even tempted, like on the rarer games, to only buy them if they've got like a original fucking Woolworth sticker on or something like that. It's getting to that point. But anyway, thankfully most people who are selling reproductions are telling you in the listing it is a reproduction and they're highlighting it. But it's only a matter of time, isn't it, before people start trying to sell off rare games with repro boxes and they're not telling you. It's going to happen, isn't it? Anyway, great game this. Not played it since I bought it. Will do. At the minute, I'm playing Robocop on the Game Boy and it is kicking my ass. I think I'm on the last level. I'm on level 9 and then someone said, oh, don't tell me they were a boss and that's it. I thought level 7 was the last level and then I got through level 7 and level 8 and I'm on level 9 and the screens have stopped scrolling and I'm going up against an ED209 but I just do not have enough energy to kill it every time. So yeah, I think I'm right at the very end of level 9 and then from, I think it were Gold 2 of Gaming put on one of our, I posted a picture saying that I'm doing well on this, I think I've nearly finished it, when I was on level 7 and I won. Gold 2 of Gaming posted up saying there's only one more level after that basically, level 10 and it's an easy boss. So, fingers crossed, I'll get that one wrapped up this week. I could have sworn I'd beaten Robocop on Game Boy, but I haven't. I don't remember these last few levels on it at all, so I definitely haven't beaten it. I think I've beaten Robocop 2, which is strange, because I normally play games in order, and I know I used to have Robocop. So, anyway, it's what it is, isn't it? I will beat it, I really enjoyed it. And then, this is probably the one I'm going to play next on Game Boy. I really enjoy playing on my Game Boy, I think it's brilliant. Can while away the hours on that. Yeah, great game. Great condition. Happy with the price. Under 40 quid for quite a rare game actually, that, to be honest with you. So, next up, we're on to NES. So this is the oldest game I've got here actually, isn't it? Never played this as a kid. Didn't have a NES as a kid. But I played other versions of this game. Always loved it. And I was mad into them. So we've got Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I played the shit out of the Spectrum version and the Commodore 64 version. Absolutely brilliant game. Loved it to bits. And I have played this version on NES in the past. And when I played it, I wasn't expecting it to be the same as the Spectrum and C64 versions, but it is. It's the same game. Well, I think it's the same game. From memory, it's got the same like annoying swimming level where you get electrified and stuff, and it felt like the same game to me. I can't remember if it was exactly the same. It might have a few differences, but it felt the same. So yeah, brilliant game. I have played this one and I got my ass handed to me. I didn't give it my full attention. I was playing Robocop, like I said, trying to beat that, which also is handing my ass to me. I'm not doing like good at the minute with games. I was blasting through them a few weeks back and now I'm getting my ass handed to me on everything I bloody touch. I will beat them all though. That's why I buy games. I love beating games. This is cracking. Just brought back floods of memories when I was playing it. Playing with my mates. We used to just take it in turns. Always laughing at each other, how shit each other was. Especially a lot of swimming level. Oh my god. When you get past that, you're like, yes! Really good feeling. Yeah, great condition again, this one. Don't remember what I paid for it. Don't think it was too bad. 60-ish, I think. 50 or 60. Can't remember. But for the condition, I would happy to pay that. It's really nice condition. Like I say, it's one I definitely wanted to add to my NES collection. There's like 4 or 5 games that I really want for NES, and this is one of them. So yeah, happy to tick that one off. Again, it's going to get some ammo over the coming weeks, is this. Love playing it again. And then finally, I haven't played this one ever. So it's another bit of a pun, but I have been always wanting to play this one. I don't know why I've never bought it. I honestly don't know. It's always fetched a few quid. So yeah, N64. We have got Banjo-Tooie. So yeah, this has always been kind of on my radar to buy. So I absolutely loved Banjo-Kazooie. I'd say it was probably my favourite platformer of that time era. loved it to bits, like the humour in it, loved the like little mini games you had to do, everything about it, even the flying sections. I just really enjoyed the game. And if you played Banjo-Kazooie properly, there's a desert level and there's a door on there, and it says if you want to find out what's behind this door, you have to buy Banjo-Tooie, coming soon. So at the time I was like absolutely loving Banjo-Kazooie. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Banjo-Tooie to come out. And then for some reason, just never bought it. I can't explain it at all. I don't know why I never bought it. But then I went on with PS2, loving my life, playing that. And I do remember seeing it for sale in the game shop I used to go in. It was a game station before it became massively franchised. I remember seeing it in there, reasonable price, but I just spent my money on PS2 games. And then as the years went by, I never really saw it out in the wild when I was retro collecting. And there was always something else I wanted to spend my money on. Always a Mega Drive game that would come up for sale that were ultra rare, or some Master System variation I wanted. So although this has always been on my radar, I've never actually splashed the cash and bought it. So anyway, I have done now. I've bought it. I'm not going to play this until I've played Banjo-Kazooie. So this ain't going on my playlist until I've played Banjo-Kazooie, because I don't want to go into it without rekindling the joy I get from playing Banjo-Kazooie. If I go into this and I don't like it, it might be because I'm not used to the controls and that era of controls and stuff like that. So I want to give it a fair chance, which means playing a game I know I like, which is Banjo-Kazooie. Blast through that. I've heard this isn't as good. Controls wise it's very similar, I've heard, but there's a lot of to-ing and throwing, which there isn't that much of in Banjo-Kazooie. You can pretty much finish every level up in one hit. You don't have to go backwards and forwards. But I've heard there's quite a bit of to-ing and throwing in this one. Either way, it don't bother me doing stuff like that. I quite like having to search around and collect bits and bats. Yeah, but again, looking forward to playing it. I just don't want to ruin it, so I am going to make sure I play Banjo-Kazooie first. And I don't own Banjo-Kazooie yet, so next month I'll be buying Banjo-Kazooie. I want to play that, because I want to play this. So yeah, another one I've spent a lot of money on, but I've no idea if I like. Got a habit of doing that for the N64 at the minute. Yeah, so I've now got this to play, and Conker's Bad Fur Day. Quite a lot of money tied up in them, and I don't even know if I like them. This collecting's becoming a bit out of hand, I'd say. No, it'll be alright. I feel that I'm going to love this. Conker's Bad Fur Day, it's 50-50 whether I like it or not, but we'll see. We'll get there. There's not that many more games I want for the N64 that are expensive. So, you know, most other games now I want, you can pick up for 40 quid. Some are no. I think the only other one that's quite pricey to get in good condition is one of the Castlevania games. So, yeah, I do like the Castlevania games on N64. I had them both back in the day. But other than that, N64 big spending is over with now with this one. So, I'm quite happy about that. Yeah, most of my money now, I'd imagine, is going to get focused on the Game Boy. I would imagine. There's not many expensive games I want on any of the other systems. NES, I can only think of one, maybe two that go into three figures. Most of them are fairly cheap games. I say cheap. For a box NES game, cheap. Mega Drive, again, only one or two games I want on that. It's expensive. Not many at all. I think a lot of the expensive games on Mega Drive are pretty shit, to be honest with you. There's not many of them that are worth playing. Mega Man The Wily Wars, maybe. That's a good game. I like Alien Soldier, but I don't think I'd buy it again, in all honesty. I've played it to death. It's something I can chuck on and play, but it doesn't interest me buying that again, I don't think. So yeah, there's not many expensive games I'd want for Mega Drive. And that's it, really. PS2, PS3, stuff like that. There isn't any, is there? PS1's got quite a few expensive games on it. Quite a few of the platformers that I do like have gone really high in value. So, Lomax, Tomb 1 and 2, they've both gone up in price. So yeah, that could turn into a bit of a money pit as well. But concentration wise, when it comes to big hitters, I'm going for Game Boy stuff next. That's it. I've got what I wanted on N64. I'm in no rush to get the Castlevania games. I've played the shit out of them. You know. Yeah. I'm looking at my collection now. I've got my cupboards open because I've got these games out of it. And it's looking quite nice now. I've got a lot of my retro stuff front facing, so yeah, it looks quite cool that. Anyway, that's it for pickups this month. I say I do have another one in the post, but fuck knows what's happened with that. It'll go on to next month's. Yeah. So I will see you again soon with another video. I think I'll do a Devil May Cry collection video, which might not appeal to all of you because it's not really retro, is it? But it's a brilliant series to me. Absolutely love it. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.